Hello. So I want to title this, maybe people should stop paying so much attention to media. People have completely lost their soul and spirit and everything that makes them unique about themselves, paying attention to so much media. But here's my main point. So, and I was a part of saying this too, about how certain people get in media, certain celebrities get in media to represent so-called black women or so-called black men. And because media is so powerful when it comes to getting people's attention, I'm not going to dog on media altogether, so I want to correct that because media has helped. If media is used in a way to uplift, it depends on how it's used, right? So if people use media in a way to get a message out to uplift humanity and to help humanity evolve, then that's media used in a good way. But right now it's used in a really bad way, and it's because a lot of people are attracted, especially in the Western world and other parts of the world too. But I know the Western world better, okay, because this is where I was born and raised in this particular life, okay. Especially in the Western world, a lot of people are attracted to war. They're attracted to negativity. They're attracted to drama, and so it's kind of hard to, if people were attracted to something different, it's like they want better, but then they don't want better. Because if you want better, you wouldn't be looking at too much trash too often, right? I'm not gonna say that they should never look at anything that could be trash. I mean, sometimes, people indulge a little bit. Same thing with food, right? But, some of the trash is, and you see that with bloggers too. If they get the most support, they get the most money. People are willing to give them the most money and donate to them. And people have a right to donate to who they want to donate. I don't care about that. I'm just saying. It shows where people energy is, and then people complain about where the world is today, the so-called world in a lot of people's reality, okay, from the eyes that a lot of people are seeing with, okay. And so and they wonder why it is the way it is, but they don't want to do anything to change these negative patterns that they might have, but then they still want to change, and they actually feel like the powers that be, whether it's politicians, where you have politicians that really don't have that much power. Most people that we are aware of, that we hear about in media, they're puppets. But still, so the powers up high, we want them to change and stop what they're doing. But the main problem is that people have given away their power. And this is not a judgment, it's just telling the truth. People have given away their power. So you keep giving away your power to the point where you don't know what you can do about what's going on, because you're giving away so much, and now you don't know what to do. Okay, back in the day when people were really spiritual and they really wanted to focus on what they need to do to overturn these tyrannical entities, back in the day, people were very spiritual, and they would have figured out what to do because they were more spirit than they were physical. I'm talking about back in the day before I was born. Because it hadn't been that long ago that we really strictly became physical. And what does that mean? We became strictly ego and reduced to our five senses. That's what that means. So physical is not real. It's an illusion. But we became reduced to that illusion by only seeing through our five senses and not really evolving past anything else. And a lot of that has to do with all the responsibilities of life that we can't focus on evolving like that. Because you got to keep making money, take care of your family. And even if you know you got to work on yourself and get out of that mindset, even if you are aware and that is more to the physicality, if you are bound with a bunch of responsibilities, it's still hard to really you just know it at a conscious level, but it's hard to get out of it, because you're going to wake up the next day with responsibilities. Then you're going to wake up the next day. Then you're going to wake up, and it's never ending. So it's hard even if you know, it's hard to get out of it. And that's even when you're single. Not just single, but don't have children. Not just single, but don't have children. Okay. But let me get back to this media thing. People I hear people, and I used to be one of them until I really started to think about things, concerned about celebrities, whether it's musicians or actors or whoever they are in media, taking roles in movies or making music or whatever they doing, and it's a concern that some of these celebrities are making black women look, so-called black women look bad, are making so-called black men look bad, whoever look bad. And well, the thing is that people are paying too much attention to media. What happened to spirit? What happened to people getting? What happened to church? Where are all these Christians or whoever? So because the media, yeah, they do try to portray. They could take a few bad apples and portray around the world how crazy these folks are. But why is it that people can't really learn to see things for themselves? Why are people around the world? Because even if people know in the United States not to fall for the okie doke, even in the United States, a lot of people know not to fall for the okie doke. Well, but you got people like in Asia and Africa and other parts of the world that's still being fed this beast, right? And so when you go over there, they see you a certain way because of what they see on television. Okay, so it's like, when are people going to when are people going to become more personable? When are people going to become more spiritual? When are people just going to learn how to not listen to everything they hear in media and see for themselves? I learned that just by traveling to a couple of different continents overseas. I learned to not take everything I see on media as face value. You know, like if I would see India a certain way in the media, and when I went to India in 2018, if I was to fix my mouth to say some ignorant stuff that I seen all over media, I would be told off by those Indians. You see what I'm saying? Same thing with Africans. If you go to certain parts of Africa, if you fix your mouth when there's that's a continent. That is a continent. So if you fix your mouth to go to Africa, knowing it's a continent, and go off some dumb stuff that you don't see on media and think you're going to judge a whole freaking continent based on some stuff that media chose to show because they like pushing the negative, I would get told off. Because it's like you really have no culture, you really have no experience, like you really have no, you're not traveled. You just get fed by media and whatever they want to put in your head, and so you're media controlled. And this is what I'm saying. I don't really care. People need to stop being so media controlled. If I would get told off going to India and saying some ignorant stuff based on what I seen on TV, and I go to India and say something ignorant, they would educate me like none other. Same thing with Africa. Same thing with other parts of the world. If I go to their country and say some dumb crap and reduce them to some crap I seen on media, they will educate my ass like nobody's business. But for some reason, people want to believe everything they see about so-called black women and so-called black men. It was a black guy that said he went to, I think it was the continent of Africa. And he said, some African, I don't know what part of Africa he was in, I can't remember. But the guy, he was talking to a guy, and the guy said, why aren't you guys educated? Why are you guys always on drugs? Why do you guys always commit crimes? And so I'm thinking about this African guy that said this to this guy from America. Okay, African guy from America, or, people want to call everybody Africans. I don't like calling everybody Africans unless they were born and raised on the continent of Africa. Because when it comes down to it, the whole planet Earth, or whatever it was called before, was populated by dark-skinned people because it had, like, multiple suns. And it was populated by dark-skinned people with different features. So I don't like this term, just African, because you're black, or so-called. I don't like that. You kind of putting everybody in the box when the whole planet was all dark. Okay, but getting back to it though, why is it that this African guy says to this guy from America, United States of America, he said, why don't you guys have jobs? Why don't you guys have degrees? Why are you guys always on drugs? Why are you guys always committing crimes? I'm like, do you think, and I'm thinking like, do you think this man that you're speaking to, when I'm thinking about this African, I just want to say to this African, Do you think that the person that you're actually speaking to is a criminal? Do you really think that the person that you're speaking to right now is on drugs? Because it looks like you're having a decent conversation. So why would you go, but based on some crap you seen on media, why would you say to a man from America that's black like you, that appears to have a sound mind, why would you say to him, why are you guys on drugs? Why do you commit crimes? It's like you're being ignorant on purpose. And I cannot carry my butt to Africa or India or other parts of the world with that level of ignorance. I would be educated in a second. Even when I went to Israel, I would be educated in a second if I carried my butt over there with that ignorance coming from media and thinking I'm going to judge everybody based on some crap that's on media. Why would you ask a question, why are you guys on drugs? What kind of dumbness is that? Do you really think the person you was talking to was a drug addict? Because in a way, I don't believe that he thought that the person, the so-called African-American male, I hate that he's named after two continents. I don't like the term African-Americans. He's like two continents, but he can't claim one. You can't claim American and you can't claim African, but you call African-American. I hate that too. You know, I wish people knew they real tribes. Call yourself that. Okay? But anyway, I get the feeling that this man knew this guy from America. I get the feeling he knew that he wasn't talking to a drug addict, but he felt like being a smarty pants. Some of these people from different continents feel like they could be a smarty pants because honestly, when I look at people from the other parts of the world, they really put down the United States. They really, really tear down the United States. They really feel like they are above the United States. And so I feel like this guy knew the person he was talking to was not some kind of drug addict, a criminal, but he had the superior attitude about himself. That's what I feel. And I even seen that with YouTubers who they say some people from other parts of the world, whether it's Africa or whether other parts of the world, get in their comment section because they feel like they are above people from the United States of America specifically. I'm not just going to say America because Costa Rica could be Central America and so could be Brazil, but folks don't think they're better than Brazilians or people from Costa Rica. They think they're better than people from the United States of America. They think they are above people from the United States of America. And so they have this way about them where it's not necessarily that they believe media, they think they're better. That's the problem. You think you're better. Why don't you get to know the person that you're actually speaking to that's right in front of you? That's what I would do. If I go to India or if I go to Mexico, Honduras, wherever I go, because they like to put Mexico in a negative light too, like it's always some kind of violence over there. Like they just so doing so terrible. But if I'm sitting across from a Mexican, an actual Mexican in Mexico, I'm not going to say no dumb crap I see on TV. Get to know that person for yourself. What happened to your soul? What happened to your spirit? Why you got to sit across from somebody that's actually from Mexico and you let some dumb crap from media come out your mouth? That's ignorance on their part. So to end this with the crap about you're making black people look bad, these black American celebrities are making black women and black men look bad. Well, maybe people need to get to know folks for themselves and get their mind off of media so much. Maybe certain kinds of media just need to be boycotted. Okay, maybe if it's not media that is uplifting, maybe it should be boycotted. Then you'll get to know a person as an individual instead of seeing some celebrity and say, oh, they represent black women. Wow, and see, that's too much pressure on the celebrity too. That's too much pressure on the celebrity. You're not going to get me to represent so-called black women if I was to become like an actress or a mainstream singer or a mainstream actress. Probably not dealing with Hollywood, but it's people that's not in Hollywood that's well known, right? You're not going to put that kind of pressure on me to represent black women. You're not going to do it. I am my own person. I am my own individual. I refuse, because the problem with representing a whole group of people is that everybody has their different standards, and it's putting too much pressure on you to be something else besides yourself. So if I decide to be my true self as an artist, whatever that may be, and I have a level of popularity, but I'm really expressing my true self. Here goes so-called, this is just an example. Here goes so-called black women, well, you need to be this way because you're representing us. No, the heck I ain't representing you, because now you're going to separate me from my freaking soul trying to be what you want me to be. So stop, leave media alone. If I think people need to get together collectively, black, white, Latino, whatever, and boycott the negative aspects of media. That's what needs to happen. Stop. It's like if Lizzo or whoever, because I don't even listen to these people, I can't name one song about Lizzo. If I hear a song about Lizzo, I wouldn't even know it's her because I don't know her voice. I know what she looked like because people put her in thumbnails all over YouTube or whatever. But if I was to hear a song about her, I wouldn't know it was her because I don't know her voice. See, this is what happens when you don't pay attention to certain types of media. To me, she ain't making black women look bad because I don't know nothing about it. I don't know how she sound if I was to hear her talk. I can still to this day pass by Lizzo in the street or the baby or whoever, Tory Lanez or whoever these people are. And I wouldn't even know I done passed by them. This is how much I don't pay attention to these folks. So they ain't making me look bad because I don't even know who the heck they are. But if you want to pay attention to these negative aspects of media, you feel like they're making you look bad. They not making you look bad. If Lizzo want to strip naked in the middle of the street, that's her prerogative. She ain't making black women look bad. And maybe something going on with her. People so concerned about, oh, you making black women look bad. Maybe she needs some help. And if she don't want the help, that's fine. That's her turning help down. Fine. But maybe she could be possessed. Maybe somebody did something really bad to her. Maybe she need help. Why are people so worried about somebody else making them look bad? Ain't no other woman with brown skin gonna make me look bad. She her own damn person. What happened to your fucking soul? Excuse my cursing, but I mean, I guess it don't matter with everything that's happening nowadays. I mean, everybody wore a mask for 2 years. I mean, fucking ain't such a bad word. You can wear a mask for 2 years just to go in the store. You know, but Lizzo ain't no woman with no brown skin because she behaves a certain way making me look bad. What people need to do is get with spirit and get to know folks for themselves. You know goodness well, even if you get some women that go up with her house shoes on in the store and cursing out everybody and acting a fool, but then you see me or somebody else going there that's dressed like maybe wearing scrubs, look like we came from working in the hospital, clearly you can see that we're two different people. Clearly you can see we're two different individuals. Get to know the freaking individual for themselves and stop worrying about who making you look bad. Because you're not giving that person a chance to go through whatever they're going through, or you're not interested in that person healing from whatever's going on with them. They could be possessed with 200 spirits, but you're so worried about them making you look bad. Maybe they need an exorcism. Maybe that's what they need. You're so worried about them making you look bad that you don't even want to help them. And I'm not into helping everybody. I ain't interested in doing all that. But my point is, why be so concerned about who making you look bad? Be yourself. Work on you. And if you feel like the other person needs somebody to reach out to them, reach out to them. And if they say they don't want your help, walk away. Okay, goodbye. But ain't nobody making you look bad. Ain't nobody making you look bad. Can't nobody make you look bad. And when you have these other people that want to be ignorant and judge you based on some crap they seen on media, that's their fault. Because like I said earlier, I can't take my butt to India. I can't take my butt to Africa and think I'm going to judge every single last person in a freaking continent or a country based on some crap I seen on TV. I would not get away with it, and neither should they. And with that being said, I will talk to you later.